Good morning, good morning, good morning! Welcome back to Children's Church. I'm so glad to have you here with me. And today we're talking about a family tree in the Bible. Specifically, we're talking about Adam's family tree, and we're going to breeze through this first section so we can get to the people we want to talk about. Are you ready? Because this is a whole lot. These are the family records of the... Oh, we're in Genesis chapter 5. I'm very sorry. These are the family records of the descendants of Adam. On the day God created man, we're going to jump forward. Adam was 130 years old when he fathered a son in his likeness according to his image and named him Seth. Adam lived 800 years after the birth of Seth. Seth was 105 when he fathered Enoch. Seth lived 107 years after the birth of Enoch. Enoch was 90 years old when he fathered Canaan. Canaan was 70 years old when he fathered Mahalalel. Canaan lived another age. Mahalalel was 65 when he fathered Jared. Jared was 162 when he fathered Enoch, who we actually want to talk about today. And Enoch was 65 years old when he fathered Methuselah. And after the birth of Methuselah, Enoch walked with God over 300 years. So Enoch's life lasted 365 years, and Enoch walked with God because he was not there, until he was not there because God took him. Methuselah was 187 years old when he fathered Lamech. Methuselah lived 782 years after the birth of Lamech and fathered other sons and daughters. So Methuselah's life lasted 969 years. And then Lamech was 182 when he fathered a son, and he named him Noah. Now we know about Noah, so let's talk about Noah's grandfather and great-grandfather, Methuselah and Enoch. Methuselah is the oldest known person ever. Oldest known in the Bible, even when it was routine to get up into the 900s. The oldest is Methuselah at 969 years old. Which, long time. I can't imagine the amount of things he must have seen. Now, I tend to think Enoch's a little more interesting. There's not a lot of information on Methuselah, unfortunately, other than he was very old. What we know about his father Enoch, is that he was so close with God, he didn't die. He's one of the few recorded cases in the Bible of someone not dying. They simply walked with God until they walked right into heaven. Which is fascinating, because the only other person we hear spoken about that is, that's right, Elijah, who was taken up in a whirlwind. But I love the image of Enoch because it just says he walked with God and then he was no longer there because he was with God. And I just like to imagine him walking and then between one step to the next, he was with God. And I think that's really cool. We can only imagine what his son was like having seen a father like that. And we know that he was a pretty good father because Lamech was a good father. And he raised Noah, who was he was an okay father, but he was a good man. Listen, some things happened with Noah's son. Sorry, Miss Ashley is laughing behind me. We'll talk about Noah's son a different day. But why are we assuming he was a good father? Because we know what his descendants did. That's the most we can guess about Methuselah. And that's what we know about Enoch, though he does come up again in the book of Hebrews. We might look at that another time. The book of Hebrews is very interesting. But I will let you guys go with this. I completely blanked on my point. I'm very sorry, guys. What I want you to remember for this week is you can walk with God no matter how long you live, whether you've been here for a short amount of time, and however long you'll be here, you can walk with God. That's all I want you to remember for this week. I'll see you next week. Bye.